Well, hey guys and gals, going to be taking the paper off the drum sander. It's a Grizzly sander, and I'm going to put the retrofit hook and loop kit on. So I'm probably just going to be kind of fast forwarding through a lot of it, and some music. And yeah, I'm going to just get right into it. So I'm just going to set the camera up where it's got a halfway decent vantage point. So the first part will just be me taking the old paper off, and then the felt. If you're familiar with Grizzly sanders, you know that the felt on the second roller, well, there's felt on the second roller, and the only thing I could ever figure out is that it made the roller a little bit bigger for the finer grit because it's a little thinner paper, and so to keep both drums the same distance from the table. And I haven't opened up the hook and loop kit yet. I don't know if there's a thicker set of sticky hook for the roller, or if the paper is just more consistent or what, but we'll see what happens when we get into that. So first part will just be me ripping the paper off. Second part, well, first it will include me filling with that felt. I don't know how big of a problem that's going to be. We'll see. Here we go. I'm going to go throw the breaker on this machine because it's hardwired in, and I've never had it just start up, but don't want it to. a point of reference, I've had the breaker off, and I'm going to go turn the breaker off again before I try to wrap these things. Our breaker's off. There's I don't know if this is a balancing weight. There's one in both drums. It's a little rectangular pin or weight or something. I was thinking there was some balancing holes here somewhere before. There's a hole in this end. And with the hook and loop on here probably isn't an issue, but this is a little proud of the drum. So just think I'm going to get that. Yeah, it wasn't enough. That one. Okay, so we've I don't know why I always do that. I got the drums cleaned, vacuumed everything out, and cleaned the rollers and all the tension rollers, all that stuff off, so that I didn't accidentally get dust on the sticky back of the Velcros pieces that are going on. I did watch a Grizzly little demo on this, which is not a bad idea to do if you're thinking about doing this. Of course, hopefully this will help you as well. They recommend the lacquer thinner, I think probably just because it's got acetone in it, among other things. So you saw it during the stripping the glue off of the rear roller here. It didn't cut the adhesive as well as the straight acetone, and I have rubbed them all down with acetone, really, so there's probably not it probably doesn't make any difference, but I'm using lacquer thinner just because they recommended it. And if I ever have any issues with this stuff, I want to be able to say, hey, I did it the way he said. Okay, and so the drum is really nice and clean, and there's no residue anywhere, so we're good. All right. There's the cap. So this just came in a box, basically. That's all that was in there. I've got the two Velcro pieces and then the two different rolls of sandpaper inside here. As far as the Grizzly video, there wasn't any mention of a difference from the front to back rollers. So I'm just going to use one. They look to be identical. Now, they recommend rolling on from the left, and then the paper comes from the right. And it's probably backwards in the camera here, so my left is here. And the belts, if you have one of these things, the belts are always on the right hand side. Okay. So, well, I'm going to take the gloves off now, so I can feel what I'm doing. This stuff sticks like a big dog, so that shouldn't be an issue. Sticks good. All right. Don't want any overlap, so nope, I got paper under there. No, that's no good. Oh, this is going to be a pain. All right, well, I might have to trim one edge of this because it's overlapping. I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit. That stuff goes down, it doesn't want to come off. So it's not backing off. Boy, that is really not wanting to twist at all. I might have to go back across the whole thing with a razor blade because it's just not backing off. Well, maybe before I do that, wow, I don't get it. I'm rolling it on with the paper under it now, just to get an idea of. Yeah, see, it's got a wrinkle in it. That's why it's. Well, I'm gonna try to salvage this. That sucks. I'm going to turn you off in case I get mad. Alright, so I'll do a little brief update here as I turned the camera off after I was getting sideways on the Velcro backer, sticky back stuff that was going on. I started out with the bevel cut perfect, and so when it didn't lap right, hopefully it's a lesson learned. I did have to really fight with that and trim the edges I went, and I ended up being a little short on the other end of the thing. Not hugely short, and you tape the ends anyway, so probably, well, not going to be an issue. So anyway, like I said, hopefully that's a lesson learned, and I will be, I got an idea. I don't know how that's going to play out, but we'll film that as well. So hopefully, you can't just trust the cut edge that they give you on that Velcro backer to be, to say that if it's square to the edge of the drum that it's going to roll around correctly. So I'll have to go kind of temporarily tape it in place, roll it a little bit, and then hold it in place while I unpeel the sticky back and get that stuck down so that I know it's going to lap properly on the way over. I assumed I could go with the cut edge of that, and I guess that was not a good assumption. And I got some of the reinforced packing tape or stripping tape, whatever they call it. I don't know. And So you can also see new shirt, new day. I didn't have any tape yesterday anyway, so I got done with that one part and then I gave up. So move the camera down, back into position here, and tape the other end of this one I got done here. So it looks like you can see it. Okay, so you can see it's on here. It's looks good. So they do recommend taping the end down, which is something you had to do anyway, the old way it was. You ever use a regular straight razor when you're trying to trim stuff? I kept getting my finger underneath the corner of the thing and I cut myself pretty good. So I had that going on too. A fun afternoon, or evening actually. So, can you see over there? Yeah, you can see over there. So I'm just gonna do a couple trips around this thing with the packing tape reinforced. And then we'll be good there. And then we'll try this other thing and see if I can do that without screwing it up again. Okay, so so, and that's against the rotation, right? So the drum rotates that way so the end of the tape isn't spinning into the breeze. Otherwise, you have a problem. Put myself a piece of tape here so I can temporarily, a couple pieces, temporarily tape that if need be. So once again, it's really not square. I paralleled that edge perfectly. So I am alright, I'm going to stick this down over here. I hope it stays. Now that's not going to work. Crap. Alright, well, we'll tuck it in a little bit, roll it back. If I roll it down too far, all it's going to do is peel the tape off. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to peel this back. While holding this other piece. I think you need a helper for this job. I think I would recommend a helper. There we go. I'm already sticking again here. Alright, well, I'm committed now. Hope it works. Alright, we'll get rid of that. Peel back the other way. This way. Okie dokie. See what happens. This stuff doesn't like to stretch, so it's pretty much goes down straight. And you have a lot of control over it. Once it's stuck, it's going to go where it wants to go. It looks like it's lining up right here, though. I'm pretty happy about that. One-handed. Yeah. So, we started out over here. Can you see this? No, you can't. We're open. Yeah. Well, take my word for it. We're open right here, and then we're touching. And we're just barely touching, and then we're open again. Right through here, all the way across. We're open all this way. I mean, we're just talking 64th or something. It's not a lot, but you can see the drum through there. Now we're touching again, and then we start to climb. And we climb all the way. This is the extreme. This is the extreme. So we're climbing and climbing. Now we're staying at the same place pretty much. And then we get over here and it starts to open up again. Well, It didn't open up. It just dropped in next to each other the way it's supposed to right here. So there's something inconsistent about this roll, because I've tried stretching this stuff and you can't tweak it. So it's kind of weird. Now whether or not I need to trim, feels a little high. It does feel a little high right in here. So I think I need to trim. This is all good. I'm going to start trimming it right around here because it's climbing up far enough that it's over the other Velcro, so it's lifting that edge up. All right, not sure when that cut off. This piece of Velcro went down a lot better than the other one. It still had some issues. I thought it was going to roll up pretty good because there was some gaps here, but the gaps closed up again. So I think this is not consistently, cut or something. It's weird. I did a little overlap here, but I don't think it's enough that it's going to cause me any issues. So I'm going to let it go for now. Velcro back sandpaper kind of poses a problem in my mind, just that I'm in a workshop with a lot of dust and wood chips, and so you just can't throw it on the floor. I guess if I ever cleaned up it wouldn't be as big an issue, but I don't know. So this overlaps. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead out to the edge of the drum with it, even though it's not Velcro all the way out there. This piece was long. I ended up cutting it. And so I don't want to have to cut this one, or if I do, I don't. I want to have my tape farther out so I have as much available sanding surface as possible. There we go. But that's good. That'll tape down. But anyway, so you notice we wound the black on from the left over, and we wound the paper on from the right back the other way, and that causes these overlaps to be in different places. So I'm guessing that's the reason. And you don't want the paper to overlap either. You want it to go on consistently. You want it, if anything, you're going to end up with any kind of inconsistency. You want a gap rather than an overlap, because you don't want to add any height to the drum, to the sanding surface. That's weird. my sawdust around a little bit. Alright, so that's it as far as putting the Velcro on, doing the kit. Over to the Velcro type paper. Yeah, this is called a 24-inch sander, and it never has been a 24-inch sander. It's about 23 inches. Tape to tape by the time you do that. And I probably could use a 1/2-inch tape rather than 3/4 and end up with a little more, or even hold it out over the edge of the drum, offset it. But I never sand anything that's that wide, strictly speaking. I've got some stuff here to sand. Actually, acoustic guitar backs or fronts for a tops for a friend of mine. They're only 16 inches wide. So that's it. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here at this, and I'll report back, I think, before I post this on how it worked out. I had to fire it up, make sure everything doesn't fly apart, but I'll do that off camera. Take care. We'll catch you next time. Yeah, have fun.